ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। And Srimad Bhagavatam prayers. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiret. Shunvatam swakatha krishna punya shravana kirtana hridayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti shuhatsatam. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So today I'm given this opportunity to speak on few verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. We will be reading from Canto 3, Chapter 20, text 37 through 39. So let me just project that. Share. Okay. Text 37. Iti sayantanim sandhyam asuraha pramadayitim pralobhayantam jagruhur matva mudhadhiyastriyam. Read it one more time. Iti sayantanim sandhyam asuraha pramadayitim pralobhayantam jagruhur matva mudhadhiyastriyam. Synonyms. Iti, in this way. Sayantanim, the evening. Sandhyam, twilight. Asura, the demons. Pramadayatim, behaving like a wanton woman. Pralobhayantim, alluring. Jagruhu, seized. Matva, thinking to be. Mudha, unintelligent. Striyam, a woman. Translation: the Asuras, clouded in their understanding, took the evening twilight to be a beautiful woman, showing herself in her alluring form, and they seized her. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Asuras are described here as Mudha meaning that they are captivated by ignorance, just like the ass. The demons were captivated by the false, glaring beauty of this material form, and thus they embraced her. Text 38. Prahasya bhava gambhiram jigra antyatmanam atmanam kantya sasraja bhagavan Gandharva Apsarasam Ganan. One more time. Prahasya Bhava Gambhiram Jigratyatmanam Atmana Kantya Sasarja Bhagavan Gandharvapsarasam Ganan. Synonyms: Prahasya, smiling; Bhava, gambhiram, with the deep purpose; Jigrantya, understanding; Atmanam, himself; Atmana, by himself; Kantya, by his loveliness; Sasraja, created; Bhagavan, the worshipful Lord Brahma; Gandharva, the celestial musicians; Apsarasam, and of the heavenly dancing girls; Ganan, the hosts of. Translation: with the laugh full of deep significance, the worshipful Brahma then evolved his own loveliness, which seemed to enjoy itself by itself, the hosts of Gandharvas and Apsaras. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The musicians in the upper planetary systems are called Gandharvas, and the dancing girls are called Apsaras. After being attacked by the demons and evolving a form of a beautiful woman in the twilight, Brahma next created Gandharvas and Apsaras. Music and dancing employed in sense gratification are to be accepted as demoniac. But the same music and dancing, when employed in glorifying the Supreme Lord as Kirtana, are transcendental, and they bring about a life completely fit for spiritual enjoyment. And the last text for today, 39. Visasarjatanum tam ve jyotsnam kanti matim priyam da eva jadatuhu pritya Visvavasu Purogamaha. Visasarjatanum tam vai jyotsnam kanti matim priyam da eva jadadu pritya Visvavasu Purogamaha. Synonyms: Visasarja, gave up; Tanum, form; Tam, that; Vai, in fact; Jyotsnam, moonlight; Kanti Matim, shining; Priyam, beloved; Te, the Gandharvas; Eva, certainly; Cha, and; Adadhu, took possession; Pritya, gladly; Visvavasu Puraha Gamaha, headed by Visvavasu. Translation: after that Brahma gave up that shining and beloved form of moonlight, Visvavashu and other Gandharvas gladly took possession of it. So in these verses here, we're seeing it's a continuation. So what I meant to they're continuing with the question that was being asked earlier in this chapter, where Vidura questions Maitreya Muni about Brahma's creation. So we know that there are 10 topics of in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam can be divided into 10 topics. And the first one is Sarga, where the Supreme Lord's creation, where it describes the Supreme Lord's creation of the universe. Then the next is Visarga, which is Lord Brahma's secondary creation. Then there is Sthanam, the placement of living beings in different planetary systems. Then there's Poshanam, the Lord's protection of devotees. Uti, the inclination to act. Manvantara, the reign of Manus. Then Isanukatha, the Lord's incarnations and his devotees. There is Nirodha, annihilation. Mukti, liberation. And Ashraya, the Supreme Lord or Lord Krishna as the supreme shelter. So in this section, what we are seeing is this Visarga portion. Earlier in the chapter, Maitreya summarizes the primary creation about describing the Mahatattva, how all the elements were together, and the Lord, through his glance, um, um, impregnates the elements. And then there's the shiny egg that lays in the water for 1,000 years. And then Lord himself in the form of Garbhodakshai Vishnu enters. And that's when the whole creation happens. Then the Brahma takes birth from his lotus navel. And then now this section we're seeing that is talking about Visarga, how the secondary creation that is being done by Brahma. And then as he creates in the earlier sections, we read about how there is the initially creation of yakshas and rakshasas, then there was creation of the demons, then we're talking about this this illusory form that has taken place, and these demons, they are taking it to be real. You see in the earlier sections, they're describing the beauty of this form, and then they're really kind of lustfully wanting to have um, to unite with this form. So in this, in 37, we saw that these foolish asuras took this evening twilight to be beautiful women and they accepted the twilight. So now in this next couple of verses, we're seeing the next creation that is happening, which are the Gandharvas and Apsaras. And in each one, we see how these different creations happening from the different body parts of Brahma. So this is saying this Gandharvas and Apsaras, they came from the beauty. So it's saying evolved by his own loveliness, which is his, from his beauty, these Gandharvas and Apsaras that get created. And then so every time it seems like as I was reading it, I don't have like a really good grasp of creation in such detail. But as I was preparing for this class and I was reading through it, I can see like Brahma would from his body part, like he creates, and then he gives up that body part. And then when he gives up, these created beings and accept that. So that's what is described in text 39, that Brahma then gave up that body, which became moonlight, and the Gandharvas, headed by Vishwasu, accepted it. So then they accepted it. So this creation seems to be like a really important topic, not just obviously, in our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, but in general, people, when they become curious about why there is creation, every religion, you can say that it describes how creation happens. So even Christianity, like it tells that in the first day, God created light, and then he created, I'm not sure exactly how it goes, but every day it says that God created this and this and this, and then the seventh day he rested. So, but in that we can, we know that there's not a whole lot of details about how. It just says God created this, and then, that's really pretty much it, from what my understanding. Like it's not very detailed. But when we read these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see like how in detailed, and not just like once, we see repeatedly that this creation is being described, the primary and the secondary, like within just Canto 3. I think this is like the second time that the creation is being described, and in different places in Srimad Bhagavatam, through these conversations between great devotees, everybody, you can see that there is this curiosity of creation. And in Bhagavatam, we find this really detailed, sometimes really like mind-boggling details about creation. So, our Bhagavatam is like so complete, as we know, that is an Amala Purana, where everything, when one wants to know, is in all the answers to any question one may have is within Srimad Bhagavatam. Second thing that I was really, as I was reading through it, I was really struck with Prabhupada's brilliant purports. We hear that we can, anybody can pick up Prabhupada's books, and then, they can even just read one page. And if they read one page, and if they understand what message Prabhupada is trying to give, you will always extract this bhakti part of it from Prabhupada's purports. So as I was reading, there was not a lot of purport in these three verses. Just this text 38 is the only one that has a little bit, a couple of sentences of purport. But even in that, even in this creation, when I read the purport, I was, just was marveling Prabhupada's brilliance of bringing even bhakti yoga in creation, in his purport, how he talks about this, that music and dancing employed in sense gratification are to be accepted as demoniac. But the same music and dancing, when employed in glorifying the Supreme Lord as kirtana, are transcendental, and they bring about a life completely fit for spiritual enjoyment. So when I read that, I said, even here, like, just this one thing one can read and see the message, the true message of Srimad Bhagavatam that Prabhupada is trying to bring out, that, we do activities, the music and dancing, so much goes on. People go to these discotheques and bars, and so all that is, people are hearing music and dancing, but it is for their own purpose. It's for sense gratification, but that is demoniac, as Prabhupada is saying. The same music and dancing, it's the same activity we're doing in Krishna consciousness, right? Like Krishna consciousness is such a beautiful process. It's such a joyful process. Prabhupada has given us, we have like singing and dancing, and, we feast, like we have so many festivals. Um, we have books. I mean, just everything is so joyful about this Krishna consciousness that Prabhupada has set things up. So when we're actually doing the same activity that worldly people may be doing and we may be doing, but when we're doing it and offering it to Krishna, where we're glorifying Krishna, we're singing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, then that same activity, instead of being for personal sense gratification, it becomes transcendental. And then that brings about the spiritual aspect of it. And then I was just really just really appreciating Prabhupada's purport, that how even in midst of this creation, how it's talking about Brahma's secondary creation, but he just puts these bullet points in it that that one can grab and then really get the essence of what the message of Srimad Bhagavatam is. So this is all I have prepared, and I will open it up for any comments. I don't have a whole lot of understanding, so questions that people have, we can definitely do discussion or any corrections, anything. If you have, I'm happy to. Yeah. Yeah, and if nothing else is there, that's perfectly all right as well.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for doing the class. I know it is not easy topic, so very, very
Hare,
tricky. And someone is saying something?
yeah, Hare Krishna. This
Yes,
is
bro. Yeah, go ahead.
my humble obeisance. Very wonderful class. I got a lot of clarity, in today's session, especially employing music and dance, which is closely associated to us, and that's very nice clarity and very authentic coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. And also about Sarga and Visarga, especially Brahma, when he was given the role, he acts in a very humble manner. Like he says that I'm just an engineer, utilizing the resources what is being given by Krishna, like earth, water, fire, ether. So that part is coming as Sarga, right? Mataji, is my understanding correct? When it comes to Sarga, the primary creation, is that the raw materials?
Yeah, that's what my understanding is as well. The Mahat Tattva, that's where all the five gross elements, five, tanmatras, everything that elements, it's part of the primary creation. That's my understanding as well. And then Brahma takes it all and then, creates further.
All right, Madhu. Thank you very much. No, I always had the confusion between the Sarga and Visarga, and today's class clarified. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Yeah, I also have a lot of, as I'm reading this, I realize it's such a complicated topic in one sense, especially if we don't have the, um, how do you call it, the motivation to hear or learn about it. I'd rather just be reading stories and all that. So this is a little bit too complicated for me, I feel. But it's really nice, actually, when we're given this opportunity to do these classes. It helps you even go out of your comfort zone and go a little dig deeper into these topics and make your understanding a little bit further your understanding. So yeah, thank you, Prabhu, for asking the question.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Although wish to see you.
Sure.
Mataji, nice class in the morning. Thank you so much. I had one comment. It looks like Lord Brahma cannot move a muscle without creating. He can't even think. If he thinks or he gets angry or he moves his eyebrows or he moves his hands, they're beings that are being created. So it's so wonderful, and I don't know how someone would feel about it. Particularly, giving birth, we all know, like the mother is so attached to their children. In this case, so many demigods, demons, and other things are being born, including animals and stuff like that. So that is amazing. So that is a comment. The other one that I wanted to say was Sarga and Visarga. I always think about a factory, or there's so many factories, each factory has a, a controller or a manager or whatever you want to call. What they do is they receive the raw materials and they produce. And what they produce using the raw materials is visarga. And the raw materials that are being sent to them by their headquarters is the headquarters, the controller is the sarga, or the Lord's creation. So that is the separation I try to keep in my mind. So I know this is the Lord's thing and this is Brahma's thing. That's all, Mata. Thank you.
That's a really good analogy, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's a really good way to, in our day-to-day life, what we know, how things work, to differentiate. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Yeah, Prabhu, if nothing else is there, we can conclude here for today. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण डिवोटीज।